not Marjorie Harvey. Sybil uncovering her for having a supposed illicit relationship with him. While we as a whole believed that we'd untalked about this show and continued on from it. Yet, some new tea just came up that completely exposed the entire show once more. It seems to be the gossipy tidbits about Marjorie undermining Steve could really be valid, on the grounds that her reputed side piece is moving in a manner that is exceptionally dubious. Furthermore, you all will have a hard time believing the crazy things he needed to say. On the off chance that you all have some way or another missed what's been the deal with this show. Reports began circumventing a long time back that Marjorie had undermined Steve. This came as a shock, since we as a whole skill, much Steve loves to offer relationship guidance to everyone. He generally got a remark about connections, and I'm not going falsehood. He truly offers great guidance more often than not. So the gossip about Marjorie venturing out on Steve was unexpected. Presently, when the reports about Marjorie's undertaking began becoming a web sensation, many individuals really trusted those. All things considered on account of Marjorie's extremely vivid past. Also, that is me understating the obvious. Both Steve and Marjorie are on their third relationships. What's more, for certain individuals, that is an exceptionally huge warning. However, of both of them, Marjorie is viewed as the greater warning. Also, before you all beginning, this doesn't have anything to do with sexism or any such thing. It's simply the overall agreement among the public since her past is shadier than Steve, and it doesn't have anything to do with her being a lady. Anyway, when individuals discuss Steve's warnings, they discuss how he betrayed his initial two spouses and utilized his second wife to assemble his vocation. He basically confessed to this in a meeting where he said, Marjorie suddenly mentally all altered demasted. I never truly been in a sound grown-up relationship. I never been steadfast. I'd never been completely regarded. That's right, Steve was a cheat. Marjorie, then again, was engaged with something way more insane. Her most memorable spouse, Jim Townsend, was a street pharmacist who got busted. Marjorie was pregnant with her second kid at that point, and the DEA associated her with being associated with her better half's medication business, for her significant other figured out how to persuade the FBI to give her a rest, and he got condemned to life in jail. Her subsequent spouse was likewise a street pharmacist, and their marriage played out essentially the same way he got busted, and the DEA thought Marjorie. Yet once more, she went without any consequence. Gracious. And she separated from the two spouses very quickly after they went to prison. So in the event that you see individuals via virtual entertainment alluding to her as woman heroine, presently you know why? Something fascinating that individuals have close to zero familiarity with Steve and Marjorie is that they initially met, harking back to the 90s when Steve was as yet broke. Marjorie was as yet hitched to her most memorable spouse when Steve put continues on her. However, she turned him down since he wasn't rich enough for her. The two of them headed out in a different direction from that point forward, and life continued on for the two of them. Marjorie got separated, wedded once more, and separated once more. Steve kept on betraying his subsequent spouse, Mary, until the marriage finished in a harsh and muddled separate in 2005. Yet again, and he was a solitary man. Okay, so you all skill I said that Steve and Marjorie didn't keep in contact after she unloaded him for not being rich enough for her? All things considered, for reasons unknown, Marjorie kept in contact with his guardian. Huge blast. In addition to the fact that they stayed in contact, however, they likewise stayed in close contact, and they fostered a fellowship of some kind. Presently, certain individuals say that Marjorie and Huge Blast had much more happening than just fellowship alone. What's more, truly, that would make sense of a great deal of things. However, I have no receipts for that. It's simply the web talking. Anyway, large blast. held on until everything looked good for him to painstakingly slide Marjorie back into Steve's life. The second Steve sought legal separation from his subsequent spouse, Enormous Blast painstakingly raised the subject of Marjorie and demanded that Steve meet her once more. After over a decade, Steve himself uncovered this in a meeting with Individuals magazine, where he said, "He told me, look, the possibly time I've at any point seen you blissful was the point at which you were with that lady, Marjorie. Presently, before you proceed to accomplish something idiotic and wed another lady, I'm calling her." It was like being renewed. I screwed up so often in my life. She had a significant effect. At the point when you're cheerful at home, you can get a ton of things going. All things considered, quick forward to 2023. Marjorie and Steve have been together for quite some time and wedded for 16. However, out of nowhere, bits of hearsay beginning circumventing that Marjorie is taking part in an extramarital entanglements with, you got it, enormous everything being equal. Better believe it, this is a wreck straight out of a show film. However, Individuals were not really shocked. Also, Marjorie was hauled for rottenness via online entertainment. Steve in the long run needed to emerge and address what is going on, the grounds that it was going crazy. Marjorie likewise denied the claims, composing, "My significant other," and I don't for the most part stop to address all the stupidity and untruths that have been spread about us. Notwithstanding, to whom much is given, a lot is required. I comprehend with my foundation comes some kind of obligation to those that may not be areas of strength for however we seem to be. Nonetheless, Individuals actually didn't accept them, since dislike they would have emerged to concede that Marjorie did as a matter of fact cheat, and Individuals accepted that they were attempting to hide any hint of failure. And afterward, in the end, the show faded away and Individuals quit discussing it. In any case, presently Huge Blast has been making a few bizarre posts out of nowhere that are simply sus. What's more, many Individuals accept that he is attempting to indicate that something truly went down among him and Marjorie. Taking to Facebook, he composed, "I believe sweethearts should understand that when you're enamored and carrying on with a criminal way of life, you can't tell your cherished one each and everything on the grounds that sooner or later you're likely going to separate, and ladies will let everything know when they are frantic to get back at you. You might think the relationship is sleeping, however. When you separate, all that you've done in the relationship awakens the general population. So watch out for the mysteries you tell the individual you love that can get you life in jail." Has Marjorie been spilling Steve's privileged insights of Large Blast, young lady? The selling out. In any case, he didn't stop there, since he then implied that he could have helped Marjorie somehow or another to assist her with recuperating her aggravation. He composed, "I think magnificence conceals torment. That is on the grounds that we take a gander at the outside, and we don't understand there's a great deal of torment inside. That is only the part they give the most consideration to.